Okay, what's up YouTube? Pacey Crypto again. About to give you a review of these Logitech slash Saitek HOTAS X56 joystick slash throttle, and I just want to kind of give you a brief review slash overview of this. I also want to show you guys how this works in game with Flight Simulator and just the feel of it and how everything really works. So remember to leave a like, remember to share, remember to subscribe. So basically I didn't get to do an unboxing on this. I should have, but essentially, as y'all can see, this is the setup right here. I did get these mounts for the joystick slash throttle, mainly because I wouldn't have any space on my desk to really put it. Plus, I think having a mount is actually better for a joystick throttle because I mean, I think it gives you more accessibility. It makes it easier to access the controls and stuff like that. So I think getting one of these mounts is pretty good. You can find these on Amazon. But as y'all can see, a lot of buttons here on the throttle. We have a lot of switches. Right here we have like 7 different switches, and essentially they all go back to 0 every time you switch. It goes back to 0, which is great. For the purposes of when it goes back to 0, you don't have to worry about incorrect input, stuff like that. That tends to happen a lot in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So having your switch go right back to 0 after you make the change, that's pretty good. You also have some different modes on here. Mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. So you have S1, M2, M1, and these modes you can customize. Essentially what the modes do, they change the control scheme of everything here. So you can have the first mode to do a certain thing, then you can have mode 2 to do a total different thing. So all the controls on here become a total different assignment, right? And then you have new assignment again in your third mode. So, and obviously, you know, the throttle is pretty nice. It's very, very well built. Right here, a nice solid rubbery grip. Kind of like a rubber texture on this throttle right here. Made out of plastic, but it's very, you can see it's very premium plastic. Obviously, you can split the throttles. I had it split before, so if you pull this little lever out, right, you can essentially have a dual throttle system, and you can essentially it's great for like your flight simulators, right? You can have a 2-engine throttle system, right? So if you have 2 engines on a plane, right, if you're flying like a commercial aircraft or something like that, now you can actually have separate controls for each engine, which is pretty good. So I like that as well. Nice feature right there. Obviously, you got your knobs here, which you can assign to anything, and we just have a whole bunch of different switches and wheels, knobs, all kinds of stuff. You know, even at the back, there's 2 buttons at the back right here. Not sure if you guys can see that. There's another switch at the back, so you can I'm sure you can probably use this right here. You can probably use this for your pitch trim. You could probably use this one for, I don't know. I mean, whatever you fancy. It could be technically used for your speed brake or for your flaps. I mean, you could use this for your flaps, your speed brake. This could be a trim. You can use this, you know, between this and this. This could be either your flaps or speed brake, and you know, you have another switch right here. I don't know what this could be. Maybe the flap, maybe also like manual flap control, stuff like that. So it is pretty. It is pretty. I mean, a lot of buttons here. Like, you will not run out of different ways you can configure this throttle for control. It is very, very nice feeling throttle. Premium build, quality build. Like, you look at it. obviously nice LED lighting around it, and it just has a premium feel to it. Very quality premium feel. Also, another cool thing about this throttle is that we can actually adjust the tension. So I actually had the tension all the way up, but you can adjust it. So when you turn it um anti-clockwise, right, that increases the tension, makes it actually, it makes it harder to actually push the throttle up and down, which gives a nice feeling of, a nice robust feeling, especially if you're in a large aircraft. You want that robustness to it, so it kind of just gives it a extra feeling of, like you're actually pushing a heavy aircraft. So if you're in a commercial aircraft, you might want to twist this wheel to increase the tension of the throttle. So when you're pushing back and forth on the throttle, it actually feels like you're controlling a real 747 jet, or real huge commercial aircraft. So that's pretty cool as well. This is great. Phenomenal build quality, great design. Like the design on here. And then moving over to a joystick. Now, with the joysticks, we actually get 3 springs. I'm not sure if you can see this. Hope you can see this, but essentially these 3 springs adjust the tension of the joystick, right? So I switched out my spring. I actually did a short on switching out the spring, so you can check that out on my channel. But essentially, I switched out my spring to the most tense spring, the spring with the most tension, but it still doesn't have a lot of tension. I mean, it increases the tension a little bit, but if you're looking for a joystick that's going to give you a lot of tension to pull back, you're not going to necessarily get it from this HOTAS 56. The spring is not as strong, and it doesn't provide as much resistance as you need. But there is an alternative that you can order on eBay. It's for about 17 bucks, and it's an attachment to the wheel right here. And then and also there'll be 4 springs attached to these 4 screws, and essentially it will modify the tension of the joystick to make it feel more tense. You can adjust it to your liking, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's a nice little upgrade if you really want to add tension to your HOTAS joystick. But other than that, I mean, it's a pretty good joystick. A lot of controls again. Obviously, we got hat switches. We got our hat switch right there, and POV switch right there. We got some buttons here. We got a trigger here, another trigger down here, and a camera right here. We got like a camera. We have a camera switch right here. We can actually just you use this for your flight simulator to look around and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. That's the camera analog stick. And you can actually screw this off if you want to. And this is how you would essentially, so as y'all can see, this is how it is. There's a button down here as well. But essentially, this is how you would change the spring. You screw this off, you pull this up, and then you remove. There's a split with this ring right here. You disconnect this ring, and then you just take off the. You just switch your spring to the new spring. So that's how it is. If you want to put it back on, have it face your way, and then you want to turn this clockwise to tighten. And once the light comes on, then you know that's good. So yeah, I mean, pretty cool. So I mean, the build quality on this, again, great. Has like a rubbery finish, kind of a rubbery texture finish. It doesn't. If you're a left-handed person, then there's no love shown for you. I'm just gonna keep it real, because we have the hand rest right here. So this hand rest is only for right-handed people, not for left-handed people. So if you're holding this with your left hand, there's nothing to rest your palm on, the side of your palm on. So that can be a little bit of a, turn off for a left-handed person. Plus, if you're left-handed, then you have to. It kind of feels weird. You don't have full grip of the joystick because especially if you're using this analog stick here to control the camera, right? Then it doesn't really give you full grip of the joystick, so it kind of feels weird. So it's really meant for right-handed people, and there's really no way to really switch this around. I don't think. I don't think there's any way to really switch this. So maybe you can, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't see any way to switch this from this side to this side. I mean, it'd be cool if I could switch this around, but there's obviously no. I don't see anything that you can actually do to do that. So that's pretty interesting that that was the design choice. I think they should have just made it neutral to where it's not favorable to whichever hand you use, because I have it on the left side right now actually. Um, you know, but the main reason why I have it on the left side, I initially had it on the right side, but obviously for if you're gonna fly something like A320, which uses a joystick as and not a yoke. So A320s don't use the yoke; they use a joystick for um, the flight control, right? Then I mean, you're gonna have to have it on your left hand side because that's where it is. So it would make more sense to have it there since I have the throttle here, right? So I mean, it's kind of it's just me feeling like it's better. Plus, usually if you're gonna fly just a regular small aircraft or whatever that uses a joystick, then it's typically you kind of have it in the middle like that. And you can still use your right hand to control it like that. And then if you want to, make adjustments with your throttle, then you just go with your left hand and make the adjustment. But yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and show you this in Flight Simulator, how this works, and you can see for yourself, how these controls work and whether this is good for you, whether this is a good setup for you. I'll recommend this. It's a great budget setup if you don't want to go all out to get a yoke and a whole throttle system, like a honeycomb throttle system, yoke, and all that. If you don't want to do none of that, and you just want to have a simple setup, then I think the holder setup is for you. Just get a holder setup and get a pedal. Do not cheap out on the pedal. Get an actual pedal. You get a Saitek pedal. You don't necessarily have to get this one, but definitely get a pedal, right? A rudder pedal for your flight simulator experience. But let's get to it. Okay, so here we go with this Logitech HOTAS flight system. I'm going to be trying to land this plane with this HOTAS system. Okay, so they have the 10-degree flaps. So basically, I'm just going to be using this system to kind of bring the plane down and land it. Oh my goodness, I don't even know where the runway is. Where the hell is the runway? I'm going to have to restart this again because I can't find the runway actually. So let me restart. Let me restart from the top. So pretty much, but as you can see, the thing with these joysticks is that this joystick is that you can't like make too much. You gotta be careful how much adjustment you make, because if you pull it too much to one side or you try to pull it too much, then essentially you could stall the plane. So you wanna be very wise with how you are using. I need to find the. Oh, there we go. There's a runway. Okay, there we go. I see it now. I'm bugging out. So let's see if we could land this plane. It's right on top of the mountain right there. That's where the runway is. So let's see if we could kind of land it. So as you can see, you can use the analog stick on the side to look around and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I like that feature. So we're coming in now. Coming in probably a little bit high. I'm not very good at this, so maybe I'll crash. I'm not sure. Okay. Trying to line this plane up. But you just gotta make very minor adjustments. Minor adjustment. There we go. So we landed it. You know, I mean, listen, guys, I'm not great at this, but pretty much, you know, I landed the plane. Um, you know, can always still. I can steer it. I think should be able to steer it. Anyways, yeah. So that's pretty much that. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Really, I mean, as you can see, pretty much I'm just making very slight adjustments with the joystick. You don't want to make too much adjustments. It's pretty sensitive. If you bring it over too much to one side, you literally rotate as you can see on the screen, you're literally rotating the yoke a full 90 degree. So, and it's pretty easy to sometimes forget that, you know, you don't want to pull it too much to one side because there's not much, there's not much real estate between 0 and that 90 degree full rotation right there. So you got to make this slight minor adjustment, but it feels great. I wish it had a little bit more tension, a little bit more resistance. So maybe that spring upgrade, you know, it's about $17, $18 on eBay. You could just search X56 HOTAS tension spring upgrade. So maybe that's something that you could look into getting. But otherwise from that is great. You can look around, as y'all can see, with the analog stick to the left of the joystick. You can look around. It's pretty nice. Look up, look down. You can change your camera's perspective, stuff like that, with this POV switch right here. You could also look around with this hat switch as well. That switch actually allows you to look around. So, and you know, you can customize these buttons to whatever you want. But yeah, I mean, pretty much that's that. So but as you can see, I was able to land the plane. I'm not even that good at Flight Simulator, to be quite honest with you. Let me turn the engine off. I may as well. But yeah, I mean, I was able to land the plane safely, even though I landed in the grass. But yeah, I mean, it's great. You know, I'm using my left hand too, you know, because I had to use my right hand for the throttle. It's a little bit uncomfortable using your left hand, obviously, because I don't have the hand rest right here. But I mean, overall, pretty good experience using this. I mean, it feels great. The throttle feels great. I mean, having this resistance right here, being able to add resistance to this right here, I mean, it enhances the experience because it actually feels weighty. Like you can feel the weight, and it makes it feel more realistic flying experience. So This is great. I like the feel of it and everything. So tell me what you guys think. Have a great day. Are you guys gonna pick up this? Do you guys have this system? What do you think about it? If you don't have it, are you looking to pick it up? Let me know what you think. I would recommend it as a budget setup if you don't want to spend too much money on a flight, a whole flight system setup. I would say this is something that every flight simmer needs. If you're gonna get into flight simulation, you need something like this. Either you're gonna get this or the X52. I'd recommend getting this, just upgrading to this because there's more features. It feels better than the X52. It has more knobs and buttons and things that you can customize, and it's just a great. It gives you a really nice flying experience, which is something that I think you can't do without. You can't live without that. So anyways, have a great day. Pacey signing out. Remember to subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting out more videos. Have a great day. Pacey signing out. Peace.